I want to go back to Miss Arnold. Miss Arnold, first of all, I'm very sincere in thanking you for taking an interest in our school system. There is a couple things, though, that you said that are right, but yet there are qualifying factors.
Okay.
You're absolutely correct. In Indiana, transportation to and from school is a privilege, not a right. There is an exception. If a child has an exceptional need,
Right.
and their exceptional need is predicated on the fact they must be transported to school or get to school, it is the legal responsibility of the state to get that child to school. So we have that issue. That's the only difference I would say to you. As I indicated in my email, Ms. Arnold and I were emailing each other this morning a little bit and today, and I appreciate her forthrightness in regard to this issue. We are looking at it. Ms. Deaton is sitting to your right, to my left, but we will help address and answer your questions regarding the transportation system in South Harrison. And we too understand the responsibility of teaching students to be responsible for their behavior. And I will address that issue with principals as well and our drivers. And I'm familiar with that particular young person because I met with both Ms. Deaton and the driver and many others. But with that having said, we will continue to work through those issues with you and with our drivers and the transportation system.
What she was talking about, was that a corporation-owned bus or a individual-owned bus?
It's an individual bus.
Yeah, well, that bus driver, you know, he can stop as many times as he wants to, and it ain't cost us any more money. That was my point.
But and to be honest with you, there are procedures by which we're studying those things, and parents have gotten used to the fact that their child can walk to the end of their drive and get on a bus. And when we start collecting collection spots and taking some of that away, we'll have twice as many people here mad because the bus doesn't stop at the end of the drive. But your point is very well made, and a lot of districts do have large pickup points rather than stopping at every house and that type of thing. The other difference in our community, and I know Ms. Arnold sent me an email and said that she studied it, and it sounded like you've been a patron of the Hobart Community School System.
A few of them.
Okay. One of the differences in some respects of our district and others is that we don't have the sidewalks that in the rural roads become an issue. So those frequent stops become there. But in a neighborhood where you have 1,000 feet spaced at 5 houses, your point is very well made, and we'll take care of it.
And I'm not going to take up everybody's time, but just, I do understand that kindergarten, first and second grade, I believe that's how it still is. I can't speak for positive, but I believe it's still mandatory that we do, if we provide busing, we have to pick them up at the end of their driveway.
Right.
In the country. I don't know that that's still the rule, but I believe that's still the rule.
But I do appreciate you bringing your issue to me.
And that's fine, and I get that, but it's the older kids.
I know.
That's crazy. And it's money, it's money.
And I guess I would end by saying that we've had a lot of delays this week and with people being out at school, but our students and our staff have responded remarkably. So they've done a great job, and we are in school tomorrow, and I think we're at regular time, although I have to check the folks, but I think we're going to be on a regular schedule tomorrow. And that concludes my report.
Okay. Got a couple of things. I got some complaints about us having the ball games on Saturday at South Central with 211 and 111 closed. I got quite a bit of complaints. They didn't think we should be having ball games, putting kids on the roads when the roads are closed. I know you'd go around 11, but I guess the school that came to South Central that night agreed to come, but we sent our girls to boarding that day, and I got quite a bit of complaints about that. And also, the parking lot, I had some complaints after when we had the ball game. It was plowed like this, and you had to climb over the snow to get to the gym. So I didn't go to the ball game because I figured I wouldn't get to watch the ball game too much from the.
I was told, Jeff, there was very few people there. I was told that.
But we go back to this policy, you know, you don't have school. I know they moved the game to Saturday, but the game was scheduled for Friday, and I really think the game should have been canceled. So, that's just my opinion, plus a lot of other people in the community's opinion.
Anything else?
And Carolyn, I know we got this baseball section at South Central this year because we moved it. And I know the fencing down there has to be,
I believe the fence has been completed because I just got the bill on it this week, so I believe it's been
okay.
done. Ben, do you know? He's shaking his head yes, so.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was taken care of for the sectional road around. I know spring will be here hopefully soon.
I think on a few of those nice days that we've had in between all of the not nice days we've had, they got that done.
That's all I have.
Okay, Joyce?
I have a question about the co-principal situation we have at Corydon High School. If there's co-principals, shouldn't both principals sign off on everything that goes through there? And what are the specific duties of each one? Are their duties the same, or are they responsible for different things?
The question is related to, I guess what I'm asking for clarification. You're asking if we have divided the duties of a principal. They have not been divided. They are duplicates. So they are principals. And we are operating under the mode of operation is that any one of their signatures carries the weight of both of their signatures. So, but they are they're both here tonight. They're communicating quite effectively at this point. And unless you have heard differently, I have not heard of miscues from the faculty or whatever. I know Joe's here tonight and he's from that faculty. I don't know. I haven't heard any instances of miscommunique because of the two individuals in those positions. So, but we will look into it again for you. But their duties are identically the same.
Okay, that was what I wanted to know, in case something did come up, and they would say, well, Mr. Pope didn't know what Mr. Kelly was doing,
Our hope is we don't get there,
yeah.
but if we do, the question.
But again,
That's a good question.
going in and studying this before we actually made that recommendation, those are all discussion items that we had with Mr. Pope and Ms. Capelli in regard to what potential drawbacks to the co-principalship model. And most of it came down to, you know, miscommunication or incomplete communication. Or the one thing that we're very, very guarded against is that we didn't want the faculty of Corydon Central High School to get mixed messages from their leadership office in that building. And to date, I don't think they have gotten it.
Well, and I think it would be well if they both have the same responsibility, that they both should sign.
Well, we can. And most
That way you could keep the communication line really open.
I would say on their memos, they probably do, but I mean, we can address that.
And some of those, I think back when we had principal, assistant principal, like, teachers fill out, an example, Joyce, teachers fill out a request for a personal day. It just says, I'm gonna be out on this day, and they have a contractual right for that request. There's times when our assistant principals would review those and sign those. I mean, because it's one of those, it's an administrative review that basically just tells the office. And I mean, I think the important thing is that they're communicating and that they are both having a part of the review process. What I wouldn't want to do is bog down and have some of their work go undone, or that they don't get to because they're both reviewing things. Things of an important nature that need to be co-reviewed, I agree. But if it's just something that is a paperwork documentation, I think that we're almost wasting their time if they're both reviewing something that they don't need.